Good evening, everybody. Yesterday, I sent a press release, first one I've ever done via a company called EIN Newswire, I think is what it was called. And they made me change everything around because they said it was too opinionated. Now, that's been with me the last 2 days. And because this affects you so much, I'm going to explain it to you in plain English. First, let's do the housekeeping. Name's Virgil Beerswell. Website's vbsenate.com. That's my Senate campaign site. Yes, I'm trying to beat Cornyn and Paxton. Yes, I know it's impossible. I believe God might take a stand in this election and shoot them a middle finger because they've really done American workers wrong. But hey, I could be wrong. There's my email address, vbeers@gmail.com. My website, guestworkervisas.com. You want to know about the visa data? We got a lot of it. If not, we can point you to some new sites coming online that have even better data. You looking for good paying jobs? Most of you ain't finding any jobs, let alone good paying jobs. You really need to consider voting for Virgil the Jobs guy because I'm the only one that's telling the truth out there. The only one that's showing you what's going on. You won't find Corner and Paxton or Allred doing any of this. vbsenate.com again. There's my phone number. You can text me. I'll answer that. You call me, I probably won't answer it. I get so many crap calls, I just don't answer it no more. Let's pull this over here. There's only one source of data that I have found in 22 years that tracks the foreign born and the native born workers. And they did it starting in January 2007. If you want to see their data, this is the foreign born data. There's a chart. As you can see, this data goes from 2015 to 2025. We can make it go all the way down to 2007. There's the January 2007 data you'll see I use as a reference, and here's the latest number, 30,814, which is actually 30,814,000 because you need to add three zeros to it. I want you to know this stuff. I want you to understand where it comes from, why it's there. I have this on my Senate campaign website. It's up under the jobs dashboard. You can pull it up anytime. I update it every month. You'll see there's a foreign born data and there's a native born data. You can click on them at any time, see what the latest is. We made it as easy as we can for you folks. You don't have to do any homework, don't have to do any math, nothing. You can just look. You come down here and you'll see that we've had a gain since January 2007 for foreign born of 8,458,000. We've had a gain for native born Americans of 10,555,000. That means the foreign born job gains is 44.5% of all jobs created since January 2007 foreign born has got. Native born has got 55.5. But here's the kicker, and I'm in the process of doing it. I haven't done it yet. The numbers are right here. You can get your spreadsheet out and do it yourself for now. If you take this two, foreign born and native born, for 2007, that'll give you a percent of the workforce. You total these two up and then you divide it by each one, divide it by this, by the total. Same thing for August 2025. You take 30,814 and 132,474,000 and add them up, you come up with 160 something. I don't know what it is, 170, close to that. And then you divide this by that 165, 170, you get a percentage. That percentage works out to 20% of the workforce for foreign born. So get that in your head here. 20% of the workforce is getting 45.5% of all jobs created since January 2007. That doesn't seem right, does it? Americans count for 80% of the workforce. and they only get 55.5% of the workforce of the jobs created since January 2007. That ain't right, folks. That's why you can't find a job. Now, I wanted to attack Governor Abbott with this. I wanted to attack him hard, hit him below the knees, whatever it takes, what below the belt, whatever you want to call it. If you go out here and look at press, you'll see my original uh, press release I wanted to release. The one I had to release, I had to tone it way down just to get them to prove it, which basically made it null and void as far as I'm concerned. We need to attack Senator Cornyn, Attorney General Ken Paxton, Governor Abbott, and say, hey, when you say we're creating 17 million jobs or whatever it was, why are Americans only getting half of them? What in the hell is going on? Don't you think you should stick up for Americans since you're an American and you're running the Texas government? We need to be on their face. We need to be in their face. We need to be saying, hey, enough. Take care of Americans in America or we'll get somebody in there that can. That's really all I wanted to show you folks. I wanted to show you this now because it's important. You need to understand, one, how many jobs are created each year. You need to understand that. You need to be able to go to the meeting at the courthouse or wherever and quote those figures. And when they say that ain't right, I said, I can prove it to you it's right. You need to be able to do that, especially if you're having a hard time finding a job. The second thing you need to do, you need to be able to quote this data I just showed you here, the jobs dashboard. You need to know how to pull that up and show them and say, hey, look here, Americans got 55.5% of the jobs, even though they're 80% of the workforce. That's bullshit. Foreign-born got 44.5% of the jobs created since January 2007, and they're only 20% of the workforce. That's bullshit. You need to be able to say this to them. I'll be covering that jobs sent overseas here at a later date. I'm trying to find some new data because they shut it off. But that's another subject, maybe for tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, Virgil Beersford, I'm the only one that's on your side, guys. I'm the only one discussing jobs. You can find my information at vbsenate.com. I desperately need find a way to get 2 or 3 million votes for me in the Texas primary. It's coming up not too far from now. We could buy more advertisement if we could get 1 million or 2 million or 3 million people to put up $1 each. That's not going to hurt anybody. Depends on how bad you want jobs, folks. Everybody says it can't be done. I think the good Lord's on our side. I think he's tired of seeing Texans and Americans can't think of a decent word, and I've been told not to cuss too much. Spit on, I guess, would be a good word. We need to end it, guys. You want to contact me, vbeers@gmail.com. You want to dig deeper, guestworkervisas.com. If you're looking for good paying jobs, I'm the only one out there discussing jobs. This year is going to be about jobs. I don't know how. I have no earthly idea how we're going to do it. But this year is going to be about jobs. Vote for Virgil the Jobs Guy. There's my webpage again, vbsenate.com. There's my number. You can text me if you need to. You can call me, but I won't answer it unless you leave a message, maybe. We can beat this, guys. We can beat it, every bit of it. We outnumber millions to one. Americans and Texans especially are fed up at employers sending their jobs overseas and importing workers to deprive them of jobs. If you don't believe that, you look around. You go talk to somebody struggling to find a job and ask them who they're pissed off at. Some of them might not even know yet because they're like me, like when I first happened to me back around 2007. They're shell-shocked. They're blaming themselves. They say, well, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. The deck is stacked against you. Let's unstack that DAC. Thank you. Goodbye.